Hey, what's up, turtles? It's Krik here with Black Owl Outdoors, and today I'm going to be doing a video on how to put a hood in a wool blanket. And basically, a wool blanket can be worn as an article of clothing, as an outer layer, as an added layer of insulation and protection from a fire. But specifically, what I'm going to be showing today is how to put a hood in the blanket as it's being worn over you. Here's the wool blanket I'm going to be using for today's video. This is a Rothko blend. I'm not exactly sure of the dimensions, probably 80 and change by 60 and change, which most wool blankets are. But I'm going to be using this for today's video. And what you're going to need besides a wool blanket for this is a button rock or a button. You're going to need some sort of hard object that does not have any sharp edges, because it could damage the blanket if you try to use something that's sharp. And you're going to need a small piece of cordage, because we're going to be using a clove hitch. To start, I need to unroll the blanket. And I want to have it lengthwise held parallel to the ground. Once I've established that, I want to hold it over me by sort of judging how much is in each hand. I want to center it over me, and again, get some slack, if you will, over top of my head. Give myself some that's going to come down. Looks like it's going to hang maybe a little bit too far, but that's what I want when I get this started. And then once you have it here, it's going to feel like the blanket's going to roll off of you. So I'm going to put my head down and sort of throw a little bit more material over my shoulders. Okay, so now I'm at this position and I'm comfortable with it. Now at this point, I'm going to sort of pinch in front of me and establish where I want the button to be in the blanket. Okay, I'm happy with that. I'm going to put it about right here where my hand's pressing. And what I like to do at this point is sort of double the blanket on itself. So here I'm going to fold it over here on this side. And here's the edge of the blanket right here. I'm going to fold that again. Over itself, and it's probably not necessary. I just like to do that just to feel like it gives a little bit more structural support and sort of a little better fit around my face. And now at this point, I'm going to need to grab the button rock, and from the underside, it needs to go through both layers. So I'm going to overlap the layer. This is going to be underneath. This is going to overlap over top of it. And right here is the button. Now at this point, I'm going to grab my cordage and put a clove hitch in this. And this would definitely be easier if you had someone helping you, so you could just hold it, and second pair of hands will make this much quicker. And it's cold right now, so everything takes a little bit longer, but I'm going to try to do this all at the same time. Clove hitch. Now make sure the button is pressed up top here. Go around to below where the button is in the blanket and pull this tight. And that's all there is to it. Now I have this little extra material hanging over me. Now I can just fold the hood back up and get a really nice lay. It doesn't feel restricting at all. If I want a little bit extra, you know, if it's really windy, I can put this back down, really block the wind. Put it back up, and that's all there is to it. Now I can do a couple more modifications to really get this blanket around me using a belt, if you will. But just like this is really comfortable. It takes the cold off very, pretty fast. And what's nice about wool blankets, put the hood down, is that if, say I'm hiking for the day and I know I'm going to be going to a fire and I want to wear synthetic clothes, just because of weight, they're lighter than wool. In the wintertime, specifically speaking for the wintertime, and I want to wear synthetics while I'm hiking all day, but I know I'm going to be hanging out by a fire, and synthetics are not great to have around a fire because of embers putting holes in it. So it'd be really great, and which I do also, is carry a wool blanket for its many uses, but also because then if I'm wearing complete synthetics and I want to hang out next to the fire, I can then just put on the wool blanket and it can protect all of my, potentially expensive synthetic layers. And we'll be doing more videos on a couple more modifications as wearing a wool blanket as an outer layer. But that's basically is to it in putting a hood in a wool blanket. This is Krik signing out with Black Owl Outdoors. Later, turtles.